In this video, we are going to look at geometric progression. We are going to go through ECZ past paper questions from 2018 to 2023. Now, before we start, let me just run you through the programs that we offer. So we offer intensive online tuition, online lessons. So in the following categories, that is grade 10 to 12 and GCE, that is for ECZ, IGCSE, Cambridge, and advanced level, which is also known as A level, that is NS. Okay, so natural sciences. Then the subjects or courses are variable. We have mathematics, additional mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology. Okay, so we can start. So this is the 2018 question. And the question reads, in a geometric progression, the third term is equal to 2 over 9, and the fourth term is equal to 2 over 23. Find A, the first term, and the common ratio. Find the first term and the common ratio. So now, in terms of finding the common ratio, since we have the third and the fourth term, since these are next to each other, they are consecutive, you can use this formula to find the common ratio. So common ratio R is equals to term number 4 divide term number what? Number 3. It is always the one that is ahead divide the one that is behind. So you cannot have 5 and 3 because they are not consecutive. So 4 and 3, they are next to each other. So what is the term number 4? So term number 4 is given as 2 over 27. Then divide, what is term number 3? 2 over 9. So now this is just the same as 2 over 27 divide 2 over 9. You know what happened? When you are dividing, you reciprocate this, then you multiply. So 2 over 7 multiplied by what? 9 over 2. So this on top is going to be 18. Divide this down is going to be 54. So common ratio is therefore 18 into 18 is 1. 18 into 54 is a 3. So therefore the common ratio is 1 over 3. So this is another way we can find the common ratio, if at all they are next to each other or they are consecutive. Now coming to the question, find the first term and the common ratio. So now, if you are given that the third term is this one. Now for us to answer these questions, so take note the one that we found the common ratio as 1 over 3. So I just wanted to show you something. So the common ratio here we found it to be, common ratio is equals 1 over 3. Now let us go into the question. So if you are given a question like this, what you always do is that you need to look at the formula for nth term. So the geometric progression, the third term is this one and the fourth term is this one. So what is the formula to the nth term? So the nth term of the GP, you are going to write nth term equal to what? Term number 1, which is A, multiplied by common ratio to the power n minus 1. Okay, so now since the first part we are saying the third term, so the term is on number 3, so n is 3 here. So what is the third term? The third term we are given that is 2 over 9 equal to what? Term number 1 multiplied by the what? The common ratio. So the common ratio we are going to do, we are going to ignore this one and do as if we don't have the common ratio, because we want to solve from, we want to use another method of solving. So what is the n, which is the position? This is the third term. So we are going to subtract 3 minus what? Minus 1. And therefore this one is going to give us 2 over 9 equal to what? First term multiplied by the what? A common ratio to the power what? 2. This is the first what? This is the first equation. Then nth term equal to what? A R, that is n minus 1. So we are going to go for the fourth term now. The fourth term is equal to this one. So term number 4 is given as 2 over 27, which is equal to A, which is the first term, multiplied by here the fourth term, we have 4 minus what? 1. Okay, 4 minus 1. And therefore this one is going to be 2 over 27 equal to what? A R then to the power 3. So this is the second equation that we have. Then we are going to solve these now. Okay, simultaneously. So solving these simultaneously, I'm going to make A the subject here. Okay, if I make A the subject, it's going to be this multiply that, this multiply that. So it's going to be 2 equal to what? 9 multiplied by 9 multiplied by A R square. Now I want to make A the subject, so I'll divide 9r square, divide 9r square. And therefore, my A, let me just put it here, it's going to be 2 over 9r square. Then I'm going to replace this one where there's A in the second one. So I'm going to replace it here. So now it's going to be 2 over 27 equal to what? Where there's A, we said we replace 2 over 9r square. Multiply by what? R to the power 3. So, okay, this is r to the power 3 is just the same as it, like that. Okay, so now what happened? This one will cancel and that one. So you're going to have 2 over 27 equal to what? 2 over, this one just remain 9, then multiply by what? R here. So this one is going to be 2 divide what? 2, 7 equal to what? 2r over 9. Crossing multiply here is going to be this and that. It's going to be 18 equal to what? 27 multiplied by 2 is 54. R. Divide 54. Divide what? 54. And therefore, our R is going to be what? 18 into 18 is 1. 18 into 54 is 1 over 3. So you've seen, we've found the same R that we found using the other method. So this is how you find your R. We said the first term and the common ratio. So we found the first term, we found the common ratio. We can now go on and find the what? The R. So I mean the first term. So how are we going to find the first term? So we are going to get the original equation, one of the original equation, then replace where there is R. So I'm going to get this one, okay? The original equation, the first equation. And I'm going to replace where there is R, I will replace 1 over 3. So 2 over 9 equal to what? A R square. So where is R square, I will replace 1 over 3 to find A. So 2 over 9 equal to what? A 1 over 3 to the power what? 2. Okay? So 1 over 3 to the power 2. This is just the same as the 1 to the power 2, 3 to the power 2. So 2 over 9 is equals to what? A 1 to the power 2 is 1. So A multiplied by 1 is just be A. Then divide, this one you know it's like that. Then this one to be 9. So this is 9. So please, you should be able to separate, to distinguish A and 9. Okay, so at this point we can cross multiply. So this one multiplies that, this one multiplies that. So it will be 18, which is 2 multiply 9, 18 equal to what? A 9A. Okay, divide 9, divide 9. So our A is equals to what? A 2. So the first term is equals to 2. So that is how we find the first term. So we answered the first question. Then now let us go on to the second question. The second question is the sum of the first 5 terms of the geometric progression. So here also there's a formula that you use for the sum of the nth term. What is the sum of the nth term in the geometric progression? Okay, so the formula that you use, it depends with the value of r. So if r is less than, if r is greater than 1, or is greater than 1, you're going to use sum of the nth term is equals to a, then r to the power n minus 1, then divide what? R minus 1. So this is when r is greater than what? 1. Positive r is greater than 1. Then the other one that you use is sum of the nth term is equals to a, okay? Then 1 minus r to the power n, divide what? 1 minus r to the power, 1 minus r just. So this one you use it when r is less than what? 1. Okay, so which one do we have? R is less than 1. 1 over 3 is less than 1. So we are going to go for this one. Okay, so let us find the answer now, since we know the formula to use. Okay, so let us start. So we are going to start with Sn is equals to what? A, then 1 minus what? Rn, okay, over 1 minus what? R. Now what is our R? Our R is what? 1 over 3. Our first term is this one. So we are going to replace So term number 5, sum of the first 5 term is equals to 2. Then here 1 minus what? R is 1 over 3. Then of course to the power what? To the power 5. N is the position here. So position number 5. Divide what? 1 minus what? 1 over 3. So right here on top here, this one, it is going to be, so I'm starting from here, number 5. Number 5 is equals to what? 2 outside. Though inside here it's going to be 1. 1 over 3. 1 over 3 to the power 5 is just the same as 1 to the power 5, 3 to the power 5. So 1 to the power 5 is 1 over 3 to the power 5 is 243. Then divide what? 1. Now 1 minus this one down is just the same as 1 over 3. So lowest common denominator here is 3. Okay, lowest common denominator is 3. Then on top here, this one will be 3 minus what? 1, which is just the same as 2 over 1. I mean 2 over 3. So it's going to be 2 over 3. Like that. Then here, inside here, this one is going to be, lowest is 243. So 243. On top is going to be 1 into 243 is 243. So 243 minus what? 1. Okay. Then of course you are multiplying what? A 2. So now here in the brackets, what is it going to be? So I'm going to bring it here. So it's going to be 243 minus 1, 242. Okay. Divide 243. But remember, there's a multiplication 2 here. Let me put it this side. Multiply what? 2. But please, this one that you are dividing, when we bring it this side is going to be multiply 3 over 2. Okay, so these 2 and these 2 can cancel, and therefore you are going to find, what are you going to find? You are going to have 243, or 242 I mean, divide what? 243. Then now, multiplying what? A 3. Now, this one, a 3 is 1. 3 here is 81. Okay? So, basically, you are going to remain with what? So, let me clean this part. I hope you followed the way the mathematics is flowing. Okay? So, you are going to remain with 242 divide 81. Okay? That is the sum of the first 5 what? Term. So, 242 divide 81. What are you going to have? 2.99. Okay, so 2.99. Okay, as your sum of the first 5 geometric, that is first terms of the geometric progression. So please, what is important is to apply the formula. And of course, I think I feel you can't fail to do the multiplication of the mathematics here. Whichever way, you can choose to put this one as a decimal first, then do the multiplication of this one, then divide and also divide this one. Still find the same answer. Okay, so it's just a way of you're going to find it, just that I've used a different way. But so long as you can arrive at the answer, then we're good to go. Okay, what about the last one, the sum to infinity? So sum to infinity of, what is the sum to infinity? So the question is find the sum to what? To infinity. So sum to infinity represented as this. You're going to, so this is the symbol for infinity, please. Okay, though it's quite difficult to draw. Okay, something like that. Got it right. Okay, so that is 1 minus r. That is the formula. A is the first term. We found it to be what? A 2. So you can't calculate the sum to infinity without the first term. Okay, so you need to find it if you are not given. Then divide 1 minus 1 over 3. You know that on top it will be 2. Divide here down it will be 2 over what? 3. Okay, you reciprocate this one. It's going to be 2 multiplied by 3 over 2. This is just the same as 6 over 2. So sum to infinity is equals to what? A 3. So that is the answer. That is how you answer it. So that is it all about this question. Okay, so 2018 school certificate, the question reads, the first 3 terms of a geometric progression are k plus 4, k and d, k K2, that is 2K minus 15. So please, the first 3 terms, which means this is term number 1, this is term number 1, this is term number 2, and this is the third term, term number 3. Okay, the first 3 terms of the geometric progression are what? K plus 4, comma, K, just K, and of course K, 2K minus 15. Where K is a positive integer. So here, very important. Where K is a positive integer, find the value of K. So how do you find the value of K? So in finding the value of K, you are going to use the ratio for finding the common what? I mean the common ratio. Okay? So the common ratio, we said, is term number 2 divide term number 1 equal to what? Term number 3 divide term number what? Number 2. So this is what we are going to use to find the value of K. So we are going to replace term number 1. What is term number 1? K plus 4. Divide, what is term number 2? Just a K. Equal to, what is term number 3? Term number 3 is 2K minus what? 15. Then term number 2. Okay, term number 2 is what? So here we have, okay, so this one shouldn't have been this one. Should have been term number 2, which is just a K. Then term number 1, which is K plus 4. Then here term number 2, so which is a K. So it should be like this. Okay, so now what do? You cross multiply at this point. So that is what you basically do if you are given the listed one like that. You just put them in this. You find the ratio of the second term to this first term, third term to the second term. And of course, if you cross multiply here, you are going to find K times K. So it's going to be K times what? K equals to what? 2K minus 15. Then multiply by K plus 4. Something like this. So what are you going to do to open the brackets? So this one is going to be K times K is K square equal to, this one is going to multiply, you expand here, K times Z, 2K times K is going to be 2K square. Then 2K times 4 is going to be, this is a positive, so it's going to be 8K. Then you multiply this. 5, negative 15 multiplied by K, negative 15 K. Then the same negative 15 you multiply by that, negative 15 multiplied by 4, it is going to give us 60, negative 60. Okay, so we collect the like terms. Which ones are the like terms? So this and that. Then we need to put this one equal to 0. So you can bring this one this side. Or what I can do, okay, you can bring this one this side and become negative. So it will be, this is 0 equal to 2K square minus K. I've just brought the K this side. Then plus 8K. Here also they are like terms, 8K and 15K. So positive and negative. So it's just the same as 15 minus 8. 15 minus 8 is a what? A 7. But it's going to be a negative because this one is a big number here. So 7K. Then minus what? Minus 60. Okay? Okay, so this is going to remain K square. Then K square minus 7K minus 60 equal to what? 0. So this is a quadratic equation. So I can write it like this. K square minus 7K minus 60 equal to what? 0. Then now we can solve this one. You know that the value for K that we are looking for is a positive one. So it's a quadratic. So two values of K we are going to find. One positive, one negative. Now at the end, we need the positive one. Okay, so which method are we going to use? So we are going to use factorization method. So we are going to factorize this. I hope you know how to factorize. So let me bring it here. K square minus 7K and minus 60 equal to what? 0. So factorizing, you are going to find the product. The product we multiply the coefficient of here K square and 60. So the product is negative what? 60. Then what about the sum? The sum, when we add, okay, the factors of, okay, the sum is 7, I mean. The sum is negative 7. So now, what are the factors? So the factors that we are going to find are the numbers that we can multiply to give us negative 60. But when we add them, they should give us negative what? Negative 7. Okay, what are they? So 60, you can multiply 5 times 12. This gives us 60. Now, we want the one that when we add, we get negative 7. When we multiply, we get negative 60. So we're going to modify this. So, which one? So, since this is 7, the negative automatically will not be on 5, because we know that it's a big number that has what? A negative. So, negative 12. Okay, so the factors are 5 and negative what? Negative 12. When we multiply this, they will give us negative 60. But when we add this, they will give us negative what? 7. So therefore, we are going to replace where there is this part, we are going to replace with these two. So we are going to have k. In the case of those who don't know how to factorize, but if you know how to factorize, I'm sure you have ideas of what I'm explaining. So k square plus 5k minus 12k minus 60 equal to 0. Then we group these. Okay, we are going to group these. So in the first part here, what is common is k. Then what remains k plus what? A 5. Then in the second part here, what is common is 12. 12 here is common, and also 12 here, because 60 is 5 multiply 12. But this part also, what remains in the bracket should be like this. So what is common here is negative what? Negative 12. Then now k minus what? Plus a 5. So that when you multiply, you get back these. Negative 12 multiplied by k, it will give us negative 12k. Then negative 12 multiplied by 5, it will give us negative 60. So equal to 0. So now, these are common. You are going to pick only one. Then k minus 12. Okay? I hope you followed up to this point. Factorization shouldn't be a problem, I guess. Okay? Factorization shouldn't be a problem. So we have k minus 12 and k plus 5. All this equal to 0. Now, what it means that k minus 12 is equals to 0 and k plus 5 is equals to 0. Remember, we want the positive integer. Okay? So, this one is going to be k is equals to 12. This one is going to be k is equals to negative what? 5. So, we discard the negative part, and of course, we just go with what? The positive part. And therefore, k here, it is equal to what? K is equals to 12. Okay? So, in the case of solving, you're going to solve on the space where there's what? Where there's A. Okay? For question A. All this has to be shown. This is paper 2. Okay. I guess you've gotten that part. Okay? The method seems to be long, but that is not long. So long as you practice. Okay? So long as you practice, it's very easy and very simple. Okay, so let us look at the second question. List 3 terms of the geometric progression. Now, look at this. There are 3 already, but just that is the value of k. They are k plus 4, comma, k, then 2k minus what? Minus 15. So, to list the 3 term, or the first 3 term, or geometric progression, we're just going to replace where there is k with a positive one. So 12 plus what? 4, comma, this is 12, comma, 2, that is 12, minus what? 15. Okay? So here is going to be what? The first term is going to be 16. So the first term is 16. Then the second term is 12. The third term will be 2 multiplied 12 is 24. Okay? 24 minus 15. 24 minus 15. What are you going to find? So 24 minus 15, I guess you find 9. So this is the list. So that is how you do it. So you just go to what you are given. You put the value of x, then you add where you need to subtract, you subtract. Then find the sum to infinity. Okay, sum to infinity. What did we say? Sum to infinity, you need the what? The first term. 1 minus what? The common ratio. So now we can find the common ratio, because here the first term we have is 16. But the common ratio, we do not have it. So we need to find the common ratio. And of course, how do we find the common ratio? So common ratio is equals to term number 2 divide term number 1, or term number 3 divide term number 2. Okay? So you can go on term number 4 divide term number 3. Now here we are going to use just term number 1 and term number 2 since we have them. So common ratio is equals to term number 2 is 12 divide term number 1, which is 16. So if we are to reduce this one, what are we going to have? 4 can go into 12 3 times, 4 can go into 16 4 times, so 3 over 4. That is the common ratio. Then now we come to the question. Okay, we come to the question. We replace now. So we're going to replace the first term 16 divide what? 1 minus what? 3 over 4. Okay, so we deal with the denominator here, the bottom part. The common denominator here is 4. This is just the same as 1 over 1. Then 4 minus what? 3. Okay, then 16. So which means at the bottom here there will be 16 divide what? 1 over 4. Okay, so 16 divide 1 over 4 is just the same as 16 divide 1 over 4 is just the same as 16 multiplied by 4. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that sum to infinity is equals to, we said a over 1 minus r, where we say the first term is 16. Then here 1 minus 1 over, the common ratio was 3 over 4. Then 16 over, this down here becomes 1 over 4. And this one is just the same as 16. Then divide 1 over 4, which is just the same as 16 multiplied by 4. Okay, which is just the same as 16 multiplied by 4. What is the answer? 64. So the answer is 64. The sum to infinity is 64. Let us answer this question that came in 2019, that is school certificate. So the question reads, in a geometric progression, the third term is equals to 16 and the fifth term is equals to 4. The first question is calculate the first term and the common ratio. Then the second question, which is B, the 10th term, and C, the sum to infinity. So now, let us start with the first part. So how do you calculate the first term and the common ratio? So now, here if you are given such a question, where you are given that the third term, or whichever term is equals to that, and of course another term, just know that, think of the nth term formula. Because you are going to form or come up with a simultaneous equation that you are going to solve to find the nth term, to find the common ratio and the first term. This is what I'm saying. So for the first part, this question has two parts. The third term is equals to 16. So let us deal with this first part. So nth term equal to, the general formula is r n minus 1. Okay, so we are talking of the third term. So it means this one is a third term. So is equals to what? 16. Equals to 16. The first term minus this n is the position. We are saying it's the third. So 3 minus 1. Okay, so 16 equal to what? A r to the power what? 2. So this is the first equation that we are going to form. Then again we go to the second part. The fifth term is equals to 4. So fifth term, we say nth term equal to what? A r n minus 1. Now the fifth term is equals to 4. So 4 equal to what? A n is fifth, the position, 5 minus 1. So 4 is equals to what? A r to the power what? To the power 4. So you have the two equations. Then you are going to solve them simultaneously. Now in this case you can use substitution method because it's the one that is easy one. So here you are going to make, you can choose to make A the subject or R the subject. So here let us make A the subject. So making A the subject, we are going to divide R here, R square and also R square. So now what are we going to do? So A is equals to 16 over R square. Then this is what? The third one. Then we are going to replace here where there's A in this one. So we are going to have 4 is equals to what? Where there's A we put 16 over R square. Then now R to the power 4. This R square and of course R square there remains with 2. Okay? So we are going to have 4 is equals to what? 16 over 1, since this one is gone, multiplied by outside what? r square. So this is as good as 4 equal to what? 16r square. Divide both sides, r is 16, divide both sides 16. So now what are we going to have? Let me just bring it this side for the sake of space. So it's going to be 4 over 16, which is equal to what? R square. Now this one we can reduce it. You know that 4 can go into 4 into 16 is 4. So this one is just the same as 1 over 4 equal to what? R square. At this point you can introduce the square root. And therefore r is equals to what? 1 over 4. Because the square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is what? 2. So this is our r. Now having found the r, we can replace it in this one and find a. So we are going to say a is equals to 16 divide what? 1 over 2 square, which is 16 over 1 over 4. Okay, now 1 over 4, you know that is 0.25. Okay, so 16 over 1 over 4 is just the same as 16 multiplied by 4, or 16 divide 0.25. In this case, 16 divide 0.25, it is going to give us what? 16 divide 0.25 is giving us what? 64. So our A is equals to what? 64. So be able to confirm this number. So that is our A. So we've answered the first question. Okay, so I hope I can clean this now. So now let us go to the second question, that is B. Find the 10th term. How do you find the 10th term? So to find the 10th term, we're still going to use the formula for nth term. Okay, and of course now the position or the term number is 10. So where there is n, we are going to put a 10. So this is what I'm trying to say. So the second question, which is B, nth term. Okay, we're finding the 10th term. So nth term, the formula is n, or AR, n minus 1. Then since we are finding the 10th term, we are going to say 10th term is equals to the first term minus, what is n is 10. So 10 minus 1. Okay, 10 minus 1 is 9. So here, 10th term, we can replace A. Our A we found that is 64. Our R we found that is 1 over 2. So we can replace this. So 64, then 1 over, this is to the power 9. Okay, so now equal to 64. That is, so don't multiply here, please. Don't say 64 multiply half. No, work out this first. So 1 over 2 is just the same as 1 over 2 to the power 9 is just the same as 1 over 2 to the power 9 to the power 9. So 1 to the power 9 is 1. What about 2 to the power 9? This one is giving us 512. So 64 outside multiplied by 1 over 512. Okay? Now at this point, what is it going to give us? I guess 64 can divide 64 into 64 is 1. Then 64 into 512. 64 into 512. So 512 divide 64. It's giving me 8. Okay? So this one, the whole of this one is going to be 8. So which means it's going to remain 1 over 8. And this is our what? 10th term. So 1 over 8 is our 10th term. If you want, you can leave it in decimal. Okay? Or if you want, you can go with the decimals here. Alright. So having found the 10th term, let us go now to the C question. Okay? So question C is find the sum to infinity. So sum to infinity is equals to the first term divide 1 minus the common ratio. So the first term is 64. Is it what you found? Yes, 64. Then divide 1 minus what? The common ratio is half. Which is equals to what? 64 divide 1 over 2. You know that 1 minus half is 1 over 2. Now this one is just the same as 64 multiplied by what? 2. Or you can divide 0.5 here. And of course this one gives us 128. So this is the sum to infinity. That is how you work it out. So we've answered this question fully. So this question came in 2019 school certificate. The question is given that, or given the geometric progression 4, 8, 16, that is given the geometric progression 4, 8, 16. Find the geometric mean of 256 and 1024. How do you find the geometric mean? So for the geometric mean, let us say GM for geometric mean is equals to what? You can put up the formulas X multiplied by Y, or you can say A multiplied by what? Multiplied by C. Okay? So now, let us use A multiplied by C. Okay? So now, let us do it. So we are given this and this. Okay? So we are going to have the geometric mean is 256 multiplied by what? 1024. The square root of this. What are you going to find when you multiply this? Okay? When we multiply 256, so 256 multiply 1024. Okay, so for me, I'm finding, this is what I'm finding. If we were to multiply them, 26 to 144. Then now square root of this, you're going to find 512. So I'm finding 512. So 512 is our geometric mean. So that is how you basically answer this question. This is our A. Then for B, the 11th term. How do you find the 11th term? So we're going to use the formula for nth term. So nth term equal to what? The first term multiply the common ratio, then the term number minus 1. So we are looking at the 11th term equal to what? The first term here, it is this one, which is 4, multiplied by, what is the common ratio? So we can find the common ratio right here of these three. So common ratio, which is R, is found by term number 2 divide term number 1, or term number 3 divide term number 2, or term number 4 divide. So it is always the one that is ahead divide the one that is behind. So now here, the common ratio, let us use the first and the second. So we're going to have 4. We are going to have term number 2 is 8. So we're going to have 8 divide what? A 4, which gives us a 2. So this one is a 2. Then to the power 11th term, 11 minus 1. Okay, or we can indicate here. Okay, let us just drop it here. So 4 multiplied by 2 to the power what? 11 minus 1 is 10. So here don't multiply, don't make a mistake of multiplying. Here where you say 4 multiplied by this one, then to know, start by dealing with this first. So punch on the calculator 2 to the power 10 equal to what? I found 4 multiplied 10, 24. Okay, so I found 10, 24. Then multiply it 4. Multiply 4. So it's giving me 40, 96. So this is the what? This is the 11th term. Okay, so up to question C. Let us find question C. So for question C, the sum of the first 11th term. So sum of the first 11th term. So the general formula is A. Now there are two versions. One where R is greater than 1, or where R is less than 1. Less than 1. Okay. So if it's greater than 1, like the way it is in this case 2, you are going to use this version where we say R n minus 1, then divide R minus 1. Okay. This one is the one that we are going to use. But if it was less than, let's say it was maybe 1 over 3 or something, we are just going to swap these. The one start, then minus n, R to the power n, then also this one start, 1 minus R. So that is the one that you use. So this one is when R is greater than what? 1. Okay, so let me just put it, maybe also the other one, others might not be getting what I'm saying. So it's like this, 1 minus R to the power n, then over 1 minus R. This one is the one that you use when R is what? Less than what? 1. Okay, so which one are we going to use since our R is 2? So we are going to use the first part. Okay, but even if you use the second part, it's going to work, but at some point you have to deal with the signs, okay? Dividing the signs, different signs and all that. Okay, so let us go on and use this one. So we are finding the sum of the 11th term. So n is equals to 11. So what is the first term? The first term is 4. So you're going to say 4. So you're using this part, please. So 4 multiply. What is our R? The common ratio. The common ratio we found is 2. But what is to the power n? What is the term we're finding? The power 11 minus 1. Then divide 1 minus what? Oh, we are using this other part, please. So the common ratio is 1 minus, 2 minus 1. Okay, so right here at the bottom is 1. So we are going to ignore this part completely because 1 divide any number is just that number. So we are going to go with the top part, which is 4, multiplied by. So here, don't subtract also 1, 2 minus 1, then to the power. No, start by dealing with this first. So 2 to the power 11 is what? 2 to the power 11. To me, it's giving me 2048. That is what it is giving me. Minus 1. Okay, so minus 1, we're just going to subtract 48 minus 1, which is going to be 47. So it's going to be 4, 2, 4, 7. If you multiply this, what is it giving you? 4 multiply 2047. So to me, it is giving me 81, 88, 81, 88. So this is the sum of the 11th term. So please, that is how you basically work this question out. Okay, so let us do now the 2020 GCE. The sum of the nth term of the geometric progression, that is GP, is given by this one. Find the sum of the first 4 term of this GP. The first term and of course the first 4 terms. Now, what we are going to do here, this is a geometric progression. Now look at what we are given. We are given already that the sum is right here. The sum is right here. So now what we are going to do, since we are already given the sum, so we can rewrite this one as the sum of the nth term is equals to 10 minus what? 10 over n to the power, 2 to the power n. That is what you are given, 2 to the power n. Okay, not the usual one where we say nth term is equals to first term multiplied by that is 1 minus r to the power n divide 1 minus r. So now we are going to go with this one. We are not going to go to this one. So we are going to use this one. So now the question is, find the sum of the first 4 terms. So we are answering question A now. Find the sum of the first 4 terms. So we are going to put 4 where there is n and say 10 minus 10 divide 2 to the power what? 4. So the sum of the first 4 term is going to be, this is 10 minus, this is 10, but of course 2 to the power 4, 2 to the power 4, it is going to give us 16. So this is 16. Okay, 16, we can divide this one in advance where we reduce this one. We can reduce this one where we say this one becomes 5. So it's going to be 10 minus 5 over what? Over 4. Something like this. Okay, is it 5 over 4? No, not 2 here is 5. Then this one becomes 8, please, like this. Okay, then now at this point we can say the lowest common denominator is 8. Then now 8 into, that is 8. 1 into 8 is 8. 8 multiplied by 10 is 80 minus 5. Okay, so at this point we can say 80 minus 5 is 75. 75 divide 8. What is the answer that we are going to find? 75 divide 8. So it's giving me 9.375. So it's giving me 9.375. But even right here, you are going just to go, maybe without reducing this one, you are going to go that the lowest here is 16, then 1 into 16 is as 16, then 10 times 16 is 160, then minus what? 10. So you're going to have 150 divide what? So this one was going to be 150 divide 16. So, which is just the same. Okay? 150 divide 16. Okay? It's giving me the answer, the same answer. So, which means this is the sum of the first 4 terms. So that is how you basically find it. So you are going to use the formula that is already given, the formula of the sum. Okay? Sum of the nth term. So if you are given the first 4 terms, you put just the 4 where there is n. Then the second question, the first term. Find the first what? The first term. Now, how are you going to find the first term? Now, this is where you need to understand. I think this is where it is a bit tricky. So to find the first term, you are going to say, look at this. You are going to get this formula. Okay, let me just put up the numbers. The numbers 2, let's say 4, let's say 6. If you are asked to find the first term, if you are asked to find, let's say from this formula, sum is equals to a 1 minus r to the power n over 1 minus r. If you are asked to find the sum of the first 2 terms, what are you going to do? You are going to what? To add them. Okay? You are going to add them. I want you to make sense out of this. Now, what about if you are just asked to find the sum of this first term? You are not going to add with anything. So you are going to find the same answer. So sum of the first term, sum of the nth term, or sum of the first term, is equals to what? The first term. Okay? Sum of the the first term is equals to the first term. Because here when you add, what are you going to add to a 2 to find the sum? I said for these 2 you can add them. But for this only one, what are you going to do? It is going to be itself. So sum of the first term is equals to what? The first term. This is the assumption that you're going to go with. And now you're going to go to the formula and just replace where there's what? Where there's n, you're going to say sum of the first term is equals to what? 10 minus 10 2 to the power what? 1. And what is it going to give you? This one is going to be 10 minus 10. Okay? Divide 2. This is just a 5. So 10 minus 5. So this gives you the answer to be what? 5. And therefore, the first term here is equals to what? 5. Okay? That is the first term. So very important. Now, the first 4 terms. The first 4 terms. How are you going to find the first 4 terms? Now, in a geometric progression, let me just explain something also. In a geometric progression, there's what we call a common ratio. Okay? Common ratio. This common ratio is the one that you multiply to the terms to find the next one. What I'm trying to say is, the first term is A, but to find the next term, you're going to multiply this first term. You multiply what? The common ratio. That is finding the second term. Then for you to find the third one, you're going to multiply this second term with a common ratio. And of course, the third term is going to be A, since there's r already, r squared. Then the fourth term, you're going to multiply this third term by the common ratio, which is already r squared, multiplied by r, which is going to give us what? A r cubic. So in short, in a geometric progression, there's a common ratio that multiply the consecutive what? Or that multiply the terms to find the next term. Okay? I guess you get that. So this part is very important. Now, what are we going to do to find the first term? Like I said, for us to find the second term, we'll have to multiply the common ratio to this one, and of course find the next one. But we have the common ratio? At all, we do not have. So now, the first method that I'm going to show you is the one that you can use to what? To find the common ratio. Now, to find the common ratio, we are going to go to the formula. Nth term is equals to what? A, then 1 minus r n over 1 minus r. So here to start with, we are going to find the sum of the two terms. Okay, the sum of the first two terms. So that way we can find r. Okay, so sum of two terms, which is equals to, in this case, if the sum of two terms, what are we going to do? The first term we already have is 5. Then 1 minus, we are finding the second term, or I mean sum of two terms. So where there is n will be 2. So r to the power square. Then r minus, I mean 1 minus r, something like this. So now, at this point, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So now, look at this. So now, the sum of two terms. Now, the sum of two terms, if we are to go to this one, we put a 2 here. We put a 2 here. It's going to be 2. I mean 10 minus, that is 10. Then here we put a 2. So this one is going to give us a 10 minus 10 divide what? Divide a 4. So this is just the same as 5 over a 2. Okay, so 10 minus 5 over 2. Okay, we want to find the sum of the two terms. So in this case, it is going to give us what? Lowest is 2. Then this one will be a 20 minus what? A 5. So it's going to give us 15 over 2. So the sum of the first two terms is 15 over 2. So we're going to put it here. 15 over 2. Then at this point now, we can divide throughout by 5. Divide by 5 so that we get rid of this. We get rid of this 5. So this 5 goes, this 5 goes. Okay. So now for this one, how is it going to be? So for this one, it is going to be like this. 15 over 2 multiplied by what? 1 over 5, which is 15 over 10. And this one, if we were to reduce it to be 3 over 2. So the whole of this part is going to be 3 over 2. Okay. So I hope you are not, you don't get some mix up here. So now, what are we going to have? Let us continue with the journey. We want to find r. So here is going to be 3 over 2 equal to this whole of it. We're only remaining with it. 1 minus r square, then divide 1 minus r. So here now we're going to use the concept of two different squares for this part. Okay, so this top part can be, so here we write 3 over 2 is equals to, here we can write it as 1 plus r, then 1 minus r, then divide 1 minus r. This and this will go. Then you are remaining with this. So 3 over 2 equal to 1 plus r. So you cross multiply here. This multiplies that. This multiplies that. So 3 is equals to 2. 1 plus r. So here you're going to have 3 equal to what? 2 plus 2r. So now let me just bring this one this side. So it's going to be 2 plus 2r equal to 3. Want to find r? Bring this one this side. You're going to have 2r is equals to what? 3 minus what? 2. Okay, 2r is equals to 1. Divide 2, divide 2. So our r is equals to 1 over 2. So our r that we found is equals to what? 1 over 2. Now let us go back. Let us go back. Let us go back. So here you remember what I told you. You remember what I said? For you to find the first term, so it's going to be like this. First term, then first term common ratio, square, so up to fourth term. This is how it's going to be. So we have the first term. So the first term is 5 multiplied by 1 over, so 5 multiplied by 1 over 2. So we're going to find the first one is 5, then the second one to be 5 over 2. Then now for us to find the third term, we are going to multiply the second term which is 5 over 2 multiplied by what? 1 over 2, which is the common ratio, which we are going to find what? 5 over 4. For us to find the fourth term, we are going to get this third term, 5 over 4 multiplied by what? 1 over 2, which is going to be 5 over 8. So this is the way it's supposed to be, or these are the first 4 terms. So the other way that you can look at this, or the other method that you can use, of course this one is the simple one. So the other method that you can use, you know that the first term you are given is equals to 5. Let us ignore all this. The first term you are given as 5. So now for you to find the second term of this geometric progression, you are going to say the sum of the 2 terms, that is the second term, you are going to replace a 2 here. Sum of the second term is equals to, of which we found already at some point, but let's just recalculate. 10 minus what? 10 over 2 to the power 2. I mean to the power 2. This gave us what? 10 minus 10 over 4. And of course, after doing all those, it became 4. This one became what? Oh, this one we said we can reduce this one. This one is 2. This one is what? 5. So the lowest is 5. Then of course 2, it is 20 minus what? 5. So this one gave us 15 over what? 2. This is the sum of the second term. Now for us to find the second term, term number 2. Okay, so for us to find term number 2, we are going to say the sum of the second term minus the first term. Okay, that is term number 2. So let us find it. So the sum of the second term is 15 over 2 minus a 5. Lowest common, okay, this is 2. Now, this is 15 minus, this is 10. Okay, what is it going to give us? It is going to give us 5 over 2. So the second term is 5 over 2. Okay, so that is how we can find the second term. Now, for us to find, so we found the first term, and of course the second term, 5 over 2. For us to find the third term, we are going to need to find the common ratio. Now, for us to find the common ratio, we are going to say common ratio R, you know that is term number 2, divide term number 1. So what is our term number 2? 5 over 2. Divide what is term number 1, which is 5. So this is R. Now, this one is just the same as 5 over 2 divide 5 over 1, which just reciprocate and of course become 5 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 5. And of course you expect 5 over what? Over 10. Now if you are to reduce 5 over 10, it's going to give you R is equals to what? 1 over 2. That is what we found. Okay, that is what we found. So now after finding R, you're just going to multiply R to the second term to find the third one. So 5 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 2, it is going to give us 5 over 4. Let us multiply R also to this one to get the next term. It's going to give us 5 over 8. So this is another way you can find it. I hope you understand. Okay, so let us answer this one that came in 2020 school certificate. The first 3 terms of the geometric progression are, so the first 3, you can even write them nicely, m minus 2, comma, m plus 1, comma, m plus 7. So these are the first 3. The first question is find the value of m. So if you are given in this case, to find the value of m, you just write this ratio. Term number 2 divide term number 1 equals to term number 3 divide term number what? 2. Okay? You know that this is how we find the common ratio. Okay? So what we are doing is that if these are geometric progression, then they should have common ratio. And how do you find the common ratio? Like this. Okay? So that is what we are trying to test. Let us now put term number 2 is this one. So m plus 1 over term number 1 is m minus 2 equal to term number 3 is m plus 7 divide term number 2 plus 1. So now we cross multiply here. We are going to have m plus 1 multiply m plus 1 then equal to m minus 2 multiply what? M plus 7. So I'm going to start from here. So right here you multiply. This is m multiplied by m square. then m multiplied by 1 is plus m, then 1 multiply m is plus m, then 1 multiply 1 is plus 1 equal to m multiplied by m is m square, then m multiplied by 7 is plus 7m, then 2 multiplied by m minus 2m, then negative 2 multiplied by 7 is negative 14. Okay, then now what are we going to do? At this point we can collect the like terms. Okay, so let us collect the like terms. So m square minus m square, this m square comes this side, then this is just 2m, please, so we are going to write this one 2m. So which one? The other one that has m is this one, 7m is a positive, it comes this side, become negative, so negative 7m equal to this 14 remains there, negative 14, but this 1 goes there, negative what? 1 becomes negative. So this side we are going to have this goes, then here 2m minus 7m is negative 5m equal to this is negative 15, then divide 5, divide negative 5, and therefore m is equals to what? 5. So that is how we simply answer the first question. Then they are asking us now, find the common ratio. Now how are we going to find the common ratio? For us to find the common ratio, we need to know the actual values or the actual terms in the geometric progression. Now what are we going to do? We are going to add, subtract where we need to subtract. In short, we are going to replace m with 5 and find the actual values there. So m we said is 5. So here 5 minus 2 is going to be the first one, 3. Then 5 plus 1 is going to be a 6. Then 5 plus a 7 is going to be what? A 12. So these are the terms that we have. Now we need to find the common ratio. So common ratio is equals to term number 1 or term number 2 divide term number 1, or you can use term number 3 divide term number 2, still find the same. So let us use this first part, common ratio. So this is the B, common ratio. What is the first term or the second term? Second term is 6, divide what is the first one? 3. So therefore the common ratio is what? 2. Okay, then sum of the first 6 term. Sum of the first 6 term all depend on the common ratio. So this is greater than 1, and you know what you are going to use. So sum of the 6th term, general, is equals to this one, Rn minus 1, then divide what? R minus 1. Okay, so now sum of the 6th term is equals to, first term is 3, multiplied by, what is our common ratio? 2. To the power what? To the power 6, minus 1. Okay, then down here 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 just the same as 1, so we are going to ignore this part, the bottom part. So we are going to say 3. This is 2 to the power 6. 2 to the power 6 is what? 2 to the power 6 is 64, but there is minus 1, which is 63. So 63 multiplied by 3. 63 multiplied by 3. So 63 multiplied by 3. This one is giving us 189. So 180. Oh, it's right here. 189. So this is the sum of the first 6 term. Then for this one, given that the geometric progression 4, 2, 1, find the 7th term. So we are going to use the formula for nth term. So this is A, Roman numeral 1. Now we are expert. So nth term is equals to A, which is the first term, multiplied by the what? The common ratio, position minus 1. So now here we are looking at the 7th term, equal to what? The first term is what? 4. Okay, the common ratio, we don't have it yet, we can calculate. Common ratio R is equals to term number 2, divide term number 1. Term number 2 is 2, term number 1 is 4. This is 1 over 2. So this is 1 over 2. Okay, then 7 minus 1. So this one we are going to put a 6 here. So it's just the same as 4 multiplied by 2 to the power 6. Please, I said this one will distribute 1 over 2 to the power 6. Is just the same as 1 over 2, 6 to the power 6. So 2 to the power 6 is giving me 64. So this is 1 over 64. 4. Okay, then at this point, can 4 go into 64? Divide 4. Okay, so this is same as 4 into 4, 1. 4 into 64, it is 16. So now this is just same 1 over 16. So that is the first answer, the 7th term. Okay, then now the second one, sum of the first 9 term. Okay, sum of the first what? 9 term. So sum of nth term. Our r is less than 1, so we are going to use this form. A 1 minus r square, 1 minus rn, then divide 1 minus r. So what is our first term? The first term is so here we are finding 9th term. Sum of the 9th term equal to, first term is 4, divide 1 minus, what is the common ratio? A 2, then to the power what? To the power 9, divide 1 minus 1 over 2. So down here it's just going to remain 0.5. In advance we can write it like that. Then now here inside it is going to be 2 to the power 9, 2 to the power 9. 2 to the power 9 is 512. Okay, so let me just clean this part so that we can just bring this part right here. Okay, so this is the sum of the 9th term is equals to 4. Then inside here is 1 minus, we can say 1 over 1 minus 1 over 512. Okay, like this. Then divide 0.5. So here in the bracket, if you are to work out what is here, it's going to be, common here is 1. That is, lowest common denominator is 512. So 1 into 512 is 512. So 512 minus 1, then divide 512. That is what is going to be here. But you have multiplying what? Multiplying a 4. Then divide a 0.5. So now what are we going to do? Can 4 go into 512? Where we say 4 into 512, let's see. Divide 4. Okay, so it goes there 128. So this one we can say 512 minus 1 is 511. 511. Okay, divide this 4 into 512 is 128. Okay, then all this divide what? Divide a 0.5, which is the same as 1 over 2. Okay, so what are we going to do? Here is just the same as 511 divide 128 multiply by, that is 1 over, multiply by 2 over 1, like that. So 511 multiplied by 2 divide 128. Okay, so for me it's giving me 7.98. Okay, 7.98. So that is how you find the sum here. Okay, so that is how you find it. Then now the last question here is find the geometric what? Find the geometric mean. How do you find the geometric mean? So geometric mean, this is question B. Geometric mean is equals to AC. So you just multiply this, the square root of them. So geometric mean is equals to 196 multiplied by, what is this? Okay, if I can see clear, is 5625. Okay, so now let us do it. So we're going to say 196 multiplied by 15,625 for me is giving me, so we're going to say square root of 362500. What is the answer here? So we find the square root of this. So square root is giving me 1750. That is the geometric what? Mean. So that is how you work out this one. Okay. Okay, so let us answer now the one that came in 2021 school certificate. Given that the second and the fifth term of the geometric progression are 16 and 2 respectively. Given that the second and the fifth term of the geometric progression are 16 and 2 respectively. Find the first term and the common ratio. So we've solved this kind of a question before. So let us just go and answer the question. So like I said previously, you're going to think of the nth term formula, and of course that is nth term equals to a r n r, or n minus r. So this question has two parts. The first, given that the second, okay, and the fifth term. So the second term, if it is respectively, which means the second term is this one, then the fifth term is this one, okay? So now, let us look at the first term, the second term. The second term is given as what? 16 equal to what? R n. The position is second, so we are going to say 2 minus 1. So this one is 16 equal to what? A r. So this is the first what? Equation. Then nth term equal to what? A r n minus 1. Here we are given that is 2 equal to what? This is the fifth. So term number 5. R, therefore n is going to be 5 minus 1. 2 is equals to r to the power what? The power 4. Okay? Is it? Yes. So now this is the second one. Then now we are going to make the one that has less power, please, or the in terms of the degree. The one that has less degree in terms of power is the one that you make the subject. Okay? So here we are going to make the subject a the subject of formula, dividing r, and there a is equals to what? 16 over r. This is what we are going to replace in that one. So we are going to continue from here. So 2 is equals to where there's a, we put 16 over r, then multiply by what? R to the power 4. This r goes and one r goes there, so this one remains to the power 3. So what are we going to remain with? 2 is equals to, this is just 16. Here it just remains 16 because this is 1. 16 divide 1 is 16. So 16 is multiplying with this r3, so it will be 16 r3. At this point we can divide 16. So we are remaining with now r3. I can write it like this, equal to 2 over 16. Now, this one that you are seeing here, 2 can go into 16. Okay, 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 16, 8. So 1 over 8. So what you are seeing here, r3 is equals to 1 over 8. What we want is r. So we are going to introduce the cube root, and also this side the what? The cube root. And therefore, our r is going to be what? Cube root of 1 is 1. Cube root of 8 is 2. So 1 over 2. So that is our value for r. So our r is 1 over 2. So we've answered the first question completely. So find the first term. The first term we said, no, we just found r. Okay, so we are yet to find a. So let us find a. So how are we going to find a? We can just quickly replace this r into this form. Okay, and have a is equals to 16 divide what? 0.5. Okay, which is just the same as 32. Okay, that is what it is going to give us. So r here is what? A here is what? 32. Okay, so we found the first term and of course the r. So we've answered the first question completely. Okay, so for the sake of our next solving, we are going to say a is equals to 32, then r is equals to 1 over 2. So let us look at the next question. Find the 10th term. Find the 10th term. How are we going to find the 10th term? So nth term equal to r n minus 1. Then now we are finding the 10th term equal to what? What is the first term? The first term is 32. Multiplied by what is our r? R is 32. It's 2. 1 over 2. Then this is the 10th term. The 10th term. So the position is number 10. So our n is 10. And 10 minus 1 is going to give us 9. Now what I emphasize mostly, don't multiply at this point where I say 32 multiplied by this one. No. Deal with this one first. And of course you are going to have 32 multiply. That is 1 over 2 to the power 9. It's just the same as 1 to the power 9 over 2 to the power 9. So 1 to the power 9, you know that is 1. But 2 to the power 9. What is 2 to the power 9? So just multiply on the calculator. 2 to the power 9. For me, it's giving me 512. 512. That is what it's giving me. At this point, can we reduce where we say 32 into 32, 1? 32 into 5, 12. What is 32 into 5, 12? So 32, that is 512 divided 32. It's giving me 16. So the whole of this one is going to be 1 over 16. Okay, so the 10th term here is equals to 1 over 16. Okay, if you want, you can leave it in terms of what? Decimals, where you divide. Okay. Then now, what is the third question, or the other question? Is find the sum of the first term, first 10 terms. Find the sum of the first 10 terms of the what? The GP, or geometric progression, or the progression. So sum of nth term. Now, what is our R? We said our R is equals to 1 over 2. Our A is equals to 32. Okay, so it means this one is less than what? Less than 1. So we are going to use this form. A 1 minus Rn divide 1 minus what? R. So let us go on and solve it. So the 10th term, where there is n, we put a 10. So the first term we said is what? 32. So 32. 1 minus R is 1 over 2, but is raised to the power 10. Divide 1 minus 1 over 2. Okay? What is it going to be? Let us bring it here. So 32 outside, then inside is going to be 1 over 2 to the power 10 is just the same as 1 to the power 10, 2 to the power 10. So it's 2. 1 to the power 10 is 1. What about 2 to the power 10? To me, it's giving me 1024. So 1 minus 1 over 1024. That is what is on top there. Then down here, it is just going to remain 1 over 2. You know that 1 minus 1 over 2. Here is 2. Then 1 into 2 is 2. 2 minus 1. So it's just the same as 1 over 2. Okay? Then now, for this one, what are we going to do? So now look at this. Here, let us deal with what is in the brackets there. So 32. Then multiply here. Right here also we are going to look at the lowest is 1024. So let me just put it here. So lowest is 1024. Then now 1 into 1024 is 1024. So multiply by 1, 1024. Okay, then minus 1. So this whole in the brackets is going to be 1023 divide 1024. So that is what is going to be 1023 divide 1024. Then over 1 over 2. Now, this 1 over 2, can you multiply this 32? It's just the same as it. 32 1023 over 1024 multiply by what? Multiply by 2. Okay, multiply a 2. Something like that. So now, we can multiply these 2 and this 32, giving us 64. So now, whatever we're going to find when we divide what is inside, multiply by 64, that is the answer. So, 1023 divide 1024. What is the answer? It's giving me 0.9999. Then now, multiply 64. So it's giving me 63. So this whole is giving me 63.94. Okay, that is what it is giving me. So that is the sum of the 10 terms of the geometric progression. So please kindly go through and of course confirm these numbers. Let us answer the question that came in 2022 GCE, that is on GP. So the first 3 terms of the geometric progression are 3, 6, and 12, respectively. The first question is, which is question A, find the nth term. So we are going to find the formula for the nth term here. Now, in order for you to find the formula for the nth term, or in the case where you're asked to find the nth term, what should be there in that formula for the nth term is just the first term and the common ratio. So that is what should be there. That is it. That is the only thing that should be there. Okay, so let us look at the formula. The general one is nth term equal to what? First term, then common ratio, n minus 1. Okay, this is the general one. So in this one, for us to find the common ratio, like I said, to find the nth term, like I said, you need the first term and the common ratio. And we are given the first term is this one. What you need to find is the common ratio. So we are going to find the common ratio prior to answering this question. So the common ratio, which is R, is equals to term number 2 divide term number 1. What is the term number 2? Is 6 divide term number 1, which is 3. So our common ratio is what? 2. So that is our common ratio. And the first term is 3. So now we can find the nth term. So nth term is equals to what? The first term is 3. Then the common ratio is 2. Then n minus 1. So it remains like this. So there's nothing like you're going to multiply this one. You can't multiply here because this one has the power here. So you can't multiply, you just leave it like this. So that is what you needed to write. Then for a second question, the geometric mean of 96 and 384. So geometric mean GM is equals to square root of what? A and C. So now let us find the square root of these two when you multiply them. So 96 multiplied by what? 384. Okay, what are you going to find here under the square root? What are you going to find when you multiply? Let us multiply. 96 multiply 384. This one is giving me, so it's giving me 36,864. So square root of this, what is the square root of this? So please kindly confirm. Square root of this for me is giving me 192. So the geometric mean is 192. Then now let us proceed to look at question C. So for question C, the sum of the first 8 term of the geometric progression. So now, in finding the sum, we are going to refer to the what? The common ratio. The common ratio is greater than 1. So we are going to use this form. So sum of nth term, we are going to say A R n minus 1. So since it's greater than what? It's greater than 1. So R minus 1. So it's the one that we are going to use. The first term, what did we say? For the first term is what? Is 3. Then now the common ratio is what? The common ratio is 2. So 2 to the power what? This is 8th term, or term number 8. So to the power 8 minus 1. Then now divide, what is the common ratio? It's a 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 is just the same as 1. So at the bottom here, it will just be 1. So we're going to deal with 3 multiplied by. So here don't subtract. Work out this one first. So 2 to the power 8. What is 2 to the power 8? Then we are going to subtract the answer. Subtract 1. So 2 to the power 8. This one is giving me 256. Minus a 1. It has given me 255. So now 255 multiplied by 3. So multiply this one by what? 3. It's giving me 765 I mean. 765. So that is our sum of, or this is the sum of the first 8 term of the geometric progression. So that is how you basically answer this question. So this is the question that came in 2022. So please, as you calculate, you need to be quick and accurate. You cannot spend 2 hours on one question. At least spend on this particular question something like this. Let us look at the 2022. So given that the third and the sixth term of the geometric progression are this and this respectively, find the first term and the common ratio. So we've been doing such questions over and over. So now let us see how we can find it. So every time you are given such a question, just think of forming the simultaneous equation and solve them. So here what are we given? The third term and the sixth term. Like I said, when you have respectively, which means the one that is mentioned first, the first number is the first. For the first 2 to the power, originally it was 3. So this one is 3, please. This one is 3. So which means even here, Let me just try to replace it in 3. So even here, it is what? Here, right here. Where am I supposed to replace? Okay, even here is 3. Okay, something like this. So in this one cancelled out. So it remained like this. So even here, which means it is what? It is 3. So now, what are we going to do? So now we are going to cross multiply right here. Okay, so please let me just make a correction to the question. So to the question also, this one is 33. This one is 3. Okay, so which means even this one is 3. Okay, so right here, this one is what? This one is a 3. Okay, so that one is a 3. So we are going to cross multiply at this point. So take note that this is a 3. Let me just write it nicely. So it's a 3 over 32. So we are going to cross multiply here, where we are going to say 3 times 4 equal to what? 32 times what? 3r cube. Okay? Okay, so what is it going to give us? Let me just bring this one this side. So this one is going to be 12. 12 equal to what? 3, 2. That is 32. 32 multiplied by 3. 32 multiplied by 3. Okay. So this part, or this part rather, is going to be 96. It's going to be 96 r 96 r cube. Then you divide 96. So this one is going to be r cube is equals to, if we are going to reduce, this is 96, please. 12 into 12 is 1. 12 into 96 is 8. Okay. Then what do? You introduce the cube root. So r is going to be 1 over cube root of 8. Cube root of 1 is just 1. Then of 8 is 2. So r is equals to 1 over 2. So that is how we find r. Then nth term. Okay, so this one is find the common ratio and the first term. So we found just the common ratio, that is r. Then now we are going to go to the first part that we made the subject. What was the first part? So a, we said a is equals to 3 over 4r. Was it square? Yes, r square. Then now we are going to go into that one. So a is equals to, so 3 over 4, 1 over 2 square. So what is it going to give us? So this one is going to give us 3 over 4, 1 over 4. So this one and this one cancels. Down it means 1. So it's going to be 3 over 1, which is just a 3. So the first term is equals to what? 3. Okay, so that is what it is going to be. Okay, so now what about sum to infinity? So the first term is equals to 3. Take note, first term is equals to 3. So a is equals to 3. R is equals to 1 over 2. What about the sum to infinity? So sum to infinity is equals to what? The first term divide 1 minus r. So the first term is equals to 3. Divide 1 minus what? The common ratio is is 3. It's 1 over 2. So this one is going to be 3. Divide, this is just half or 0.5. So it's just the same as 6. Okay. So this one 0.3 divide 3 divides 0.5 is 6. Confirm that. So that is the sum. Okay. So that is how you basically answer this question. Okay. So in the geometric progression, the second term is 21 and the fourth term is 189. Calculate the first term and common ratio. So this question, the way you deal with it, I think we solved quite a number of them. So by now, we know what to do. So the first part, so we're going to go nth term. equal to a r n minus 1. Okay, so it has two parts. The second term, okay, so second term is equal to 21 equal to a r, where is n we put a 2 minus 1, it's just going to be, so 2 minus 1. Okay, so it's going to be 21 equal to a r. Then for the second part, the second term, I mean the other part, the nth term, this time around we are looking at the fourth term, is equal to this one. So that is term number 4, r n minus 1. Okay, so it is given as 189 equal to what? The first term is what? It's not given, r. This is position 4, so 4 minus 1 is going to be 189 equal to what? A r to the power 3. So this is the second one, and this is the first one. Now, to solve this simultaneously, we are going to make this one the subject. So, 2, 1 equal to, or we just divide here. We make A the subject, divide R, we divide R. So, A is going to be 21 over R. So, that's the one we're going to replace here. Let me just write it nicely. A is equals to 21 over, 21 over R. That is our A. Okay. Then it's the one that we are going to replace in this one, where is A. So we are going to say 189 equal to, where is A, we are going to put 21 over what? R. Then to the power, or multiply to the power R3. This time we can cancel here, and also cancel there. Cancel one R, remain with it, square. So 189 equal to 21. This one is just 21, this is 21 R square. Divide 21, divide 21. So now R square is equals to, what is 189 divide 21? So 189 divide 21, and it's giving me 9. So here it is giving me what? 9. We introduce the square root. So R is equals to 3. So R here is equals to what? 3. Okay, so that is how we basically answer. Okay, so we've not found A, but we just found R. So let us finish now and find A. So to find A, we are going to use the simple form of these equations that we have, which is the first one, which is 21 is equals to A R. So now we want to find A. Okay, or we can use the one that is already A the subject. A is equals to 21 divide R, which is just the same as 21 divide 3. And therefore our A is equals to what? 7. Okay, so A is equals to 7. Then now we can go on now to find the sum of the what? The 60th term. I mean to find the 60th term. What is the 60th term in this case? Okay, what is the 60th term? So take note of what we found. A is equals to 7, R is equals to 3. Let us find the 60th what? 60th term. Okay, so A is equals to 7, R is equals to 3. So 60th term, we are going to use the nth term equal to A R n minus 1. This is 60th term, so term number 6 equal to what? What is our A? 7. What is our R? 3. To the power what? 6 minus 1, which is to the power 5. Okay, so here don't multiply. 3 to the power 5 is what? 3 to the power 5. This one is giving me 243. So 243 multiply 7. Multiply 7. This is giving me 1701. So this is the 60th term. This is what we're able to find as the 60th term. Okay. Then sum of the 5 term of the progression. So now look at R is greater than 1. So we're going to use this sum equal to A 1 minus R. No, not this one. Rn minus 1. Then now divide what? Divide R minus 1. So now let us replace. What is our first term? 7. Then here, what is our R? 3 to the power what? We are finding first 5 terms, so to the power 5 minus 1. Then here down, what is the common ratio? Is 3 minus 1. So this time around we are not going to leave it out. It's the 2 down here. So now 7 multiplied by, here in the bracket, don't subtract before you deal with this one. So 5 to the power 5, 3 to the power 5, 3 to the power 5. I'm able to find 243, okay, 243, then 243 minus 1 is giving me 242, 242, okay, so 242, okay, 242 multiply 7, okay, so I'm going to say multiply 7. This is giving me, okay, 242 multiply 7 is giving me 1694. Divide 2, it is giving me 849. So the whole of this, it has given me 849. Okay, so kindly confirm this part. So that is what it has given me, 849. Okay, so what has it given you? Okay, so that is what it has given. Okay, so let us look at finally the school certificate 2023. So the nth term of the geometric progression is given by, so here it is given like this, the geometric progression, the nth term. So you can picture this one, nth term, which is a r n minus 1. Now in this case it's given as the nth term is equals to what? They've already given you the formula, which is the 1 over 2 to the power what? N. So we're going to make use of this. Then find the first is 3 term. Find the first 3 terms. How are we going to find the first 3 terms right here? Okay. So how are we going to find the first 3 terms? So the first thing we are going to find the first term. Okay. So the first term we are just going to put 1 here where there's n. So term number 1. So 180 multiplied by 1 over 2, then 1. 1 over 2 to the power 1 is just 1 over 2. This one we can multiply here. 2 into that is 2. Then 2 into this is 90. So the term number 1 is 90. So now after finding the term number 1, which is 90, and of course please here, this is to the power n, this is r. Okay, so this is r. So after finding the term number 1, we just continue to multiply this term number 1 by the common ratio, which is r. So the next one is 90 multiplied by 1 over 2, which is just the same as 90 divided 2, which is a 45. Then the next one, we multiply 45 multiply 1 over 2. What is it going to give us? It's going to give us 22 should be able to give us, because that's the same as 45 divided 2. So 45 divided 2 is giving us 22.5. Then to find the next one, which is okay, we are told just 3 terms. Okay, so to find the next one, we continue multiplying, because in a geometric progression there's always a number that you multiply to find the next one, which is called the common ratio. Alright, then now what about the common ratio? How do you find the common ratio? So in this case the common ratio is right here, it's given. Okay, the common ratio is half, because this is to the power n, then that is the common ratio. Look at this, this is the common ratio. So the common ratio here, it is equals to what? 1 over 2. Then sum to infinity of the progression. So sum to infinity of the progression is equals to, what is the first term? The first term we said is 90. Then of course, so the first term divide 1 minus r. So the first term is what? 90 divide what? 1 minus the common ratio, which is half, equal to what? So it's just the same as 90 divide what? A 0.5, which is the same as 180. So sum to infinity of the progression is 180. So this is this wrap up everything that I prepared. So please, if you enjoyed the videos, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Invite some more people to come to this YouTube channel. Invite some friends, and let us revise together. And what I can say is that I wish you the best in your exams.